I am, in businesses, they have entrepreneurs and they have managers and operators, right? There's entrepreneurs and then there's managers and operators. And you guys have probably already gotten this from me. Um, I do a lot of things in business, and people look at me and they're like, they whisper under their breath. I'm like, man, is that guy know what he's doing? Is that guy an idiot? I am a total big picture person. I am not good with paperwork. I'm not good with documentation. I abhor taxes. I hate taxes. I don't like tracking stuff. Maximus has been good. Eric's been good at helping. Alex rather has been good at helping me put my trades into the Airtable because otherwise it ain't gonna get done. Um, but it's really, really important, guys. I see so many traders that are quote unquote competent, right? Like if you say, hey, can you explain to me a butterfly or a broken wing butterfly or a back ratio credit spread trade? They're like, yes, I can. I will build you one. I'll show you exactly the pros and the cons, the ups and the downs, the profits and the losses, et cetera, et cetera. They know what they're doing. Like they know how to trade, right? And they're not successful. And so obviously the first question right out of the bat is, well, why not? Why? I get that. Not everybody is successful at anything in life, right? There's always going to be 5-10% of our population that really excels at anything. So it's understandable if you're not successful at trading, even if you've got a lot of time under your belt. Why are you not successful, right? And the answer is almost always, if they're honest, the answer is almost, if my answer was always, I don't know. I don't know. And I would get belligerent with it. I'm like, listen, if I knew the answer to that, if I knew why I wasn't successful as a trader, don't you think I would have already fixed that? Right? Uh, and so that really, if you're honest with yourself and you're not happy with your results, most often that's our answer is, man, I don't really know why I'm not successful. And of course, the follow up to that is if we don't know why we're not having success, it's just going to be dumb luck if we ever get it fixed, right? It's not going to be any thing that we do proactively on our part. It will just be happenstance that fixes that for us. It's really hard to fix a problem that you don't know even exists, right? And so it comes back to that phrase that I just love. I love, love, love this phrase. Progress cannot be made until actions are first measured. We have to monitor what we do. And I take a lot of pride. I take a lot of pride in this program in the fact that, number one, we're doing real trades with real money in here in real accounts. And good, bad, or indifferent, you see the results of these trades. Like we don't hide the bad trades. We don't brush those under the rug. I don't not publish those on the YouTube channel. Like if we do a trade, I'm going to throw it up, right? And sometimes people they don't want to address the issue of losses, but guys, that's where we learn. That's where we grow as traders. And so for me, and I'm going to admit right here, guys, I'm going to admit right now that I am not very good at this anymore. I'm trading too many accounts. I'm doing too many trades. I'm doing 20 to 30 trades a day. Every single day I do 20 to 30 trades. So honestly, I probably need to hire an assistant to start filling back in my trading journal and documenting what I'm doing because quite honestly, I just don't have the time, right? And you guys have seen multiple times I've shown you the audited results for two other programs that I trade, the Robert Kiyosaki's weekly cash flow program and the Crash Speculator. Well, those are audited, right? For somebody else is doing that for me. And the only thing I'm really running off here is not even the Airtable because Maximus puts those orders in for me. I went back to what Jeremy had originally going back to like when we were 64 trades in or something like that, and how many were winners or losers. And I'm just doing a tally on that. That's the sum total of all I'm doing right now. So my point is I'm repenting. I need to get back on the bandwagon, but we need to document what we're doing. And so one of the most powerful things that I ever had help me as a trader was, first, you go through the learning phase, right? First, you need to learn what a trade is. You need to learn what an iron condor is. You need to learn what the difference between a debit and a credit spread is. You just need to understand strategies, right? And then when you get the strategies in place, then you need to learn how to get better. And the key thing that one of my first mentors, a guy named Rob, back in the day, Rob made his fortune on shorting airline stocks in during 9/11. That's how he made his money. He made millions shorting the airline stocks on 9/11. So you might call that unpatriotic, I don't know, but anyway, great trader. But he would say, listen, we're all human beings. He says there's only one human being that I know of that's perfect. He's not on the earth today. And so you and I have to admit that we're imperfect. We will make mistakes. We're always going to make mistakes as traders, right? But the key is that we want to progress. So our mistakes are always going to be there. We're going to make mistakes every day as a trader. But going forward as a trader, we should be making fewer and fewer mistakes, further and further apart. And here's the key thing, guys. They should be new mistakes. They should be new mistakes, right? We should be learning and trying new things and making new mistakes. If we're still making the same mistakes 6 months into this program, a year into the program, then we haven't learned anything, right? We haven't learned from our failures. And so the most powerful thing that he would help me do was we would record all of our trades over the month. As the month went on, we would record our trades. And then at the end of the month, we would sit down. And in that case, I was trading maybe 1 to 2 trades a week. Okay. So, you know, I'd have 4 to 8 trades at the end of the month to review with him. And as I would look at that, I would say, okay, so here's my winners. Let's go through my winners and see how well I did. And he's like, no, I don't care about your winners. I don't want to talk about your winners. And just sit, Dan. Just sit. If you didn't get it, just sit on it. I don't care about your winners. Okay. I want to focus on your losers, because there's no real discussion that you can have on your winners, right? Like that's what we all want to talk about is look how much money I made. Look how much money I made. But the reality is you were just along for the ride, right? I mean, if you buy a stock at 10 and it goes to 15, man, you look like a genius. Right? You look like an absolute genius, but the reality is you were just in the right place at the right time and you grabbed a hold of that and went for a nice ride, right? You had no real direct involvement in that. The real hard work comes when you buy a stock at 10, thinking it's going to go to 15 and it goes to 5, right? What did you do? How did you handle that? What did you adjust? Where did you exit? Did you exit, right? Those are where we really start to see how good of a trader we are. So we would get to the end of the month. We would look at my 8 trades. He would summarily just remove every winning trade. He would take the winning trade out of the picture. We didn't even look at him. I'm like, but look how much money I made on this trade. And he's like, I don't care. We would remove the winning trades. Just look at the losses, because that's what we learn from. And we would go through each one of them and we would say, okay, there's only going to be a couple of reasons that we ever lose money. There's only, these don't change, guys. There's only a couple of reasons that we lose money in a trade. One is, that's just how the cookie crumbles. Okay. That's just what happens. There's no strategy out there that is a 100% fail-safe strategy. So we will have losses. We're batting like 85% right now in this program. So that tells you if we do 100 trades, we're going to have 15 losses, right? It's just the way it works. So number one is that's just how the cookie crumbles. That's just what happens with trades. It's part of, factor it in. It's part of our overhead in this business. And that's just how it works, right? Number two is we broke a rule. We broke a rule. And you break rules for all kinds of reasons. The number one reason that rules get broken is for greed, right? You look at a trade, you know where the delta should be, but it doesn't give you the income potential that you want. So you move your wings in, something like that. So I can tell you that almost all of the trades that I have messed up on where it has been my fault, it wasn't poor execution, it was greed. It was greed, where you're bending the rules in the trading system. Yeah, we should get out half hour before the market closes, but there's still a little left there. I don't want to pay a commission to get out. I'm going to hold on to it, and boom, it blows through those legs, right? So it's greed, and then the last one is, that I just talked about, breaking rules. Okay, so we need to learn from that, and the way that we learn from that, the long-winded place that I'm going to here, the way that we learn from that is documenting what we do. So there's a lot of ways to document your trades. Most of them, I mean, you can go to Google and you can just type in free stock market trading journal, and you'll pull up 36 different links to free Excel spreadsheets. Okay, guys, they're junk. They're just junk. All they are is a place for you to document what you did. And you already have that in your brokerage account. You can already go to your history tab and look at what you've done. And you can sort and search, and you can export it into a spreadsheet. Those spreadsheets, those trading journals, quote unquote, they don't do anything for you. Okay. What you need is something that you can input your trade data into and then analyze it. And that's what my buddy Greg has done. He has, as unbiased as I can be, in my 30 plus years of doing this, he has the absolute best trading journal that I have ever seen. It is by far the best trading journal out there to track what you're doing. And so sometime today here, I will grab the link. I'll show it to you. You can go look at it and play around with it, get an idea of what it does. But if you're serious about your trading, guys, you need to be documenting what you're doing. Okay, there's my rant. Now let me see. There were some questions that came in. Yeah, Tom and Joey, it is easy to lie to yourself. I had, when I was running my financial planning firm, one of my satellite offices was in Las Vegas, and so I had a lot of gamblers that were clients or that I would talk to. If you're in Vegas, you're talking to gamblers a lot, right? And I'd always ask them, how's it going? Every one of them would say the same thing. Well, I'm down a little bit right now, but I think overall for the trip, I'm about break even or a little profitable, right? I'm down a little right now. I'm down $5,000 right now, but I think overall, in the big scheme of things, I'm probably back to break even. You're not back to break even. You're telling yourself you are to make you feel good about yourself. But that's just not how it works, right? And it is easy to justify not doing well. It's easy to justify it. Well, that trade was a winner if I would have done this. So in my mind, I'm going to count it as a winner, even though I lost money, right? Man, it gets black and white on a trading journal. So yeah, Baggins, that's what I'm talking about right now. That's what I'm talking about right now. Is that we've got the spreadsheet set up for us. There's what we were trying to work on here, what we were trying to get into the trade. It has everything that we need. It has everything that we want to track. The only thing it was missing was capture rate. So like my trade today, right? I brought in $835. How much of that am I going to capture, right? There was not a column for your percentage capturing. He's got a couple of open columns now that we can put whatever we want in there. So we've got the ability now to do that. So yeah, that's kind of what we were just waiting for, was to get, well, we were waiting for two things, Baggins. We were waiting for him to be able to set me up with a discounted price for you guys. And we are waiting for those customizable columns. So we have that now. So I'll get the link for you guys here. It's on my other computer. I'll grab it at some point today here. Yeah, Scott, that's exactly right. Or as racers say, you know, score or competitors say scoreboard, right? Scoreboard. Ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what determines whether we're successful or not. I don't know, Rick. It depends on how much effort I can put into putting stuff back in there. I think to be very transparent with you, Rick, I think that probably what you're going to find is that we're going to build it going forward, not build it going back. Because we're doing enough volume in trades. I mean, my goodness, I did, what did I do yesterday? In fact, Maximus, I think we're still missing one. I think we're missing my last ES trade that I did like at 3 in the morning. I don't think that got put into the Airtable, but, oh, you did? Okay. I knew you would. I knew you would. You're on top of stuff. I get it. But I think we're doing enough trades. Like I think I did like 5 trades yesterday. So it will probably be more building trades forward than trying to go back and piecemeal it together.